Here's your 10 a.m. advisory from the National Hurricane Center. The latest data on Tropical Storm Bertha. It has strengthened, so now it has sustained winds at 60 miles an hour. Gusts are getting to 70 miles an hour. What I can observe from our infrared imagery is that the convection that was previously just on the south side of the storm is now starting to fill in. So it is wrapping around the center of circulation. That's why it has strengthened, and I do think it's going to continue to do so for the rest of the day. It's still over open water, and so that means it has plenty of time and energy because that trek is really slow. So it is moving towards the northwest at 3 miles an hour. Something else to observe is that the pressure has dropped just a little bit. So again, that supports the idea that Bertha is continuing to strengthen for the time being. Now we do have active tropical storm watches and tropical storm warnings. This extends from the panhandle of Florida all the way into the Louisiana coastline. Now, I think we are going to see some of the strongest impacts from Mobile, Alabama, all the way through Louisiana, and I'll break that down here in a moment. But first, let's talk about the updated cone. Not a lot of shifts here. The timing is fairly consistent to what we've seen this early morning and what we saw last night. So it is expected to move into New Orleans by Wednesday afternoon or early evening. At that point, it maintains its tropical storm strength. Somewhere along the Louisiana coastline, I'm thinking from Lafayette all the way to Lake Charles, that's when it starts to weaken a bit. So from a tropical storm to a remnant low, because it's interacted with land for an extended period of time, it now reduces some of its organization and it reduces its wind speed. So by late Thursday evening, winds are forecast to be at 35 miles an hour. That's under tropical storm criteria. And at that point, it starts making its push towards Texas. So I think by Friday morning, we could start seeing some rain chances here in Houston, and that's going to continue throughout the day until it starts pushing a little bit further inland. Some leftover rain, even in DFW, is possible. Now, because most of the energy from Bertha is a good distance offshore, I think that is where the majority of the tropical storm force winds are going to be. Notice the possibility for, say, Mobile, Alabama, so the Alabama coastline, to see tropical storm force winds is only at around 20 to 30%. I think of our coastal states, the area that is most likely to see some gusty wind is going to be the Louisiana coastline. I think closer towards New Orleans, so a little bit further inland, it's still that 20 to 30% chance, but along the immediate coastline, there could be a couple of stronger wind gusts recorded. I think as Bertha gets closer to Houston, not even the immediate coastline will feel the stronger wind gusts. So a 10% chance of feeling those tropical storm force winds here in Galveston. However, I will say, because there is a lot of wind just offshore, that is going to eventually pile up on top of itself. And because of that, there is that active tropical storm warning. So now this has been upgraded. You'll notice it goes from the panhandle of Florida all the way into the Louisiana coastline. I'm going to backtrack this real quickly just to see if there is a wider scope of this new warning. No, so it ends right in the center part of the state of Louisiana as a watch. So those are the areas along the coastline where I could see the potential of a 2 to 4 foot storm surge. So what that means is waves piling up near the beach, near the coastline, and giving that concern for coastal flooding, some beach erosion rather. So that, I think, is the predominant threat with Bertha. Let's talk about the rain with it. Because most of the convection is on the south side of the storm, most of the thunderstorm activity sits offshore. So look at future track radar. A couple of showers sprinkled here and there from the outer rain showers. The main center, the main energy epicenter for the storm is offshore from Louisiana. Now, do I think New Orleans could get a few inches of rainfall by the middle of the week, so by tomorrow afternoon? Yes. So if you had any work conferences there, keep in mind you are likely going to be slowed down by some rain. Do I think it's going to cause inland flooding? I don't think so. I think 2 to 3 inches at most, and that's manageable. Then as we head into Thursday, that's when those showers start approaching Houston. I think we'll see some rain late Thursday night. That's a snapshot at 11 o'clock. And then more of that rain spilling over into our early Friday. So Friday morning, Friday afternoon, we'll see some lingering showers, and then that's pretty much it. But look at the potential rainfall totals through Friday here in southeast Texas. I mean, we're talking on the lowest end accumulation scale. So maybe half an inch to an isolated spot picking up an inch. That's for us here in Houston. Now for Louisiana, New Orleans, I think could wind up with around 1 to 2 inches. And then along the immediate coastline, that's where we could pick up some of those heavier downpours and, more importantly, that push of the storm surge. So the wave heights starting to increase. That, like I said, is going to be the thing to really track with Bertha. Otherwise, it's pretty lackluster in terms of rain potential here in Houston. 20 to 30%, that's not very significant. I do think out of the 2 days, Friday is going to be the day to watch. Something else I wanted to throw in here just as a reminder. I know we're keeping our eyes locked in on Bertha, but I do want you to be careful today when it comes to our local heat story. And with not much rain forecast from Bertha, I don't think we're going to see much relief from this heat throughout the rest of the week. Today, we're under a heat advisory until 8 p.m. And that means the heat and humidity combination is going to make it feel like it's up to 108 degrees. And I think tomorrow is going to be even hotter. I'm forecasting our first triple-digit day. Triple digits continue at least through Thursday. There are your few rain chances when it comes to Bertha. I would say check back in with us as much as you can to see some fine-tuning of this forecast. Maybe we see an isolated shower linger as late as Saturday morning. I don't think so at this point, but I just want you to be aware that as we watch Bertha continue, we will fine tune a few things. But so far, we are definitely on the better side of the storm system. All right, have a wonderful Tuesday, and we'll keep you updated as soon as we get that next update from the National Hurricane Center.